All right, I'm going to go over 4 transversal problems from this past Tuesday's test, and hopefully it helps you make connect the dots. The retake will be this coming Tuesday during intervention. So when I have these transversal problems, probably the easiest way is I highlight all the acute angles. Those are angles that are less than 90 degrees as yellow. And then I use red to highlight all the obtuse angles. Because when we have parallel lines cut by a transversal, basically you're going to have 4 yellow angles that are the same and 4 red angles that are the same. So in this case, once we have it color coded, I think it's a little bit easier to see the connection. Notice that yellow is equal to yellow. To solve this one, I would write 2x minus 24 is equal to x plus 5. Yellow is equal to yellow. I mean, even look at them. The angles look exactly the same. Okay, so I've got 2x on the left and I've got x on the right. I like moving my variables to the side that's larger. So since 2 is larger than 1, I will subtract x from each side. Technically, you could put a -1. You could make that +1, that -1 if you wanted to, or you could leave it out. It doesn't matter. So 2x minus x would simplify to x. I'm going to bring down 24, bring down the equal. The positive x, negative x is 0, but we know that 0 plus 5, well, that just simplifies to 5. After that, I'm going to add 24 on both sides. And the -24, +24 will cancel out to give 0. So I simplify by bringing down the x. And then, let's see, 5 plus 24 is 29. So the value for x in this case, x equals 29. Example number 2. Again, just going to grab my highlighter. Yellow, acute, yellow, acute, yellow, acute, yellow, acute. All right. Grabbing the red. Red is going to be obtuse, 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 and obtuse. So it looks to me like I've got a combination of a red and a yellow. Those obviously are not the same. I mean, the red one's pretty big. That's a pretty big angle. And then this one over here, that's just tiny. So when the colors are different, they simply add up to 180. So I'm going to write 6x minus 5 plus x minus 25 has to be equal to 180. I'll combine my x terms. 6x and x, that's going to give us 7x. Remember, you can always put 1 in front if you want. I'm going to underline -5 and -25. Those are our constant terms. So I've got 7x minus 30 is equal to 180. Then I'll use the addition property, or I'll add 30 on each side. Cancels, and what remains is 7x is equal to 180 plus 30, which is 210. To get rid of the coefficient of 7, I will divide by 7 on each side, and x is equal to 30. Feel pretty good about that. Example 3. Again, I'm going to grab the highlighter. The acute I make yellow. And then the obtuse angles are going to be red. So notice that we do have 2 red angles, and 2 red angles are equal to each other. So I'm going to put 3x minus 2 is equal to 2x plus 30. I'm going to move my x terms to the left because 3 is larger than 2x. So to move 2x to the left, I will subtract 2x on both sides. On the right, it cancels. That's 0. 0 plus 30 would simplify to 30. On the left, 3x minus 2x is x, and then bring the -2 down. After that, I will add 2 on both sides, and it looks like we're done. -2 plus 2 is 0. X plus 0 simplifies to x. And 30 plus 2 is 32. Again, feeling pretty good about that. Last one, example 4. So again, yellow, oops, how about I actually use it? Yellow for acute, 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 and acute. So now obviously you can see this 8x minus 6 is red, but whatever the case. And I do want to point out that these are vertical, those are vertical, just to remind you. So I've got red and vertical red, red and vertical red. Just remember, vertical angles are angles that are across from each other when you have two lines that intersect and they're equal to each other. Now this over here, I have a yellow plus a red. Obviously that's going to add up to 180, but I do want to quickly remind you that when you have two angles that are adjacent to each other, or that means that they're right next to each other. Adjacent by definition means by the side. They actually make 180 degrees, which is a straight line. So that's why always when we're dealing with parallel lines, if you have two different colors, they're going to add up to 180. So I'm going to put 4x minus 6 plus 8x minus 6 has to be equal to 180. I'll combine the 4x and the 8x. That will result in 12x. Negative 6 and negative 6, that's going to give me negative 12. Then I'll get rid of the negative 12 by adding 12 on both sides. Cancels, and now I have 12x is equal to 192. And let's see, to get rid of this 12, I'm going to divide by 12 on both sides. 12 over 12 is 1, and then let's see, we got 192 divide by 12, and that's 16. And I feel pretty good about that, but again, grab a calculator and double check that if you need to. And that's pretty much a review of transversals. So hopefully that's making more sense, and again, the retake will be this Tuesday during intervention. Yeah, thanks for viewing.